around talking so I don't surprise a bear, because I don't want to surprise a bear. They say bears will usually leave you alone, but the only bad thing is if you surprise one. So they say make lots of noise when you're hiking so it'll hear you in advance and go the opposite direction instead of walking up on one behind a tree somewhere. Highway 12 in southern Colorado is known as the Highway of Legends. I decided to camp just off of the Highway of Legends around Bear Lake and Blue Lake. Highway 12 is an awesome highway, but to get to the lakes you gotta take a 10-mile dirt road up the mountain. I have to say, with a street bike suspension and pulling a trailer, it got a little hairy at times. I am at Blue Lake Campground. My original goal was to go to Bear Lake Campground. I went there. It's another mile up the road. Very, very dusty, rough road. But I made it up there and all the campsites were full, so I came back down to Blue Lake. And there's quite a few campsites here available. So I got one here for 2 nights. There's just so much dust. It was a very rough road getting up here. There was a lot of hairpin turns and the dirt and gravel, and the worst was the washboard. Trying to drive over the washboard stuff. But anyway, this is my campsite. It's a pretty big campsite. Got a picnic table and fire pit. I think I'm going to put my tent right there and have my living area over here. But I do hear a stream. I haven't looked around and found it yet, but it sounds like it's within walking distance. So I'm going to set up camp, probably make me a sandwich, and then maybe go see if I can find that stream I hear. But I made it. I'm down in southwest Colorado. So this isn't the Bear Lake that's in Rocky Mountain National Park. This is way down in oh gosh, I forgot the name of the national forest, but I'll look it up and let you know later. But time to set up camp. Down to Blue Lake from my campsite. There's a trail that runs right along the backside of my campsite down there that goes down to Blue Lake. Right now I'm talking so I don't surprise a bear, because don't want to surprise a bear. But yeah, it's a nice little trail. Got flowers all on the side. Now we're going downhill again. Making noise when I can. So they say bears will usually leave you alone, but the only bad thing is if you surprise one. So they say make lots of noise when you're hiking, so it'll hear you in advance and go the opposite direction instead of walking up on one behind a tree somewhere. I hear something up ahead. Sounds like a waterfall. I wonder what that is. Huh. Definitely water. Like a brook or something. Coming up. Oh yeah, here's a little waterfall going across the trail. May have stopped to take some pictures of this. Oh, that over there is like pristine. I wonder if I can get close enough to take a good picture of that. Looks like he's just coming out of the side of the mountain, doesn't it? That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. This is actually one of the better trails I've been on so far. It's not too uphill, not too downhill. It's a little of both. You go up a little ways, down a little ways. It is going downhill more than it's going uphill, which means it is going to be harder coming back. But it's worth it, man. I love the woods. I love the woods. I love the bears from a distance, not close. If I keep talking, I won't surprise them, right? If I do see a bear, I've got my backpack. I'll have to take it off real fast to get to my bear spray. But I think most of the bears are in northern Colorado. I don't think there's that many down here. As I walk over a big pile of bear poop. No, just kidding. See, I'm uphill, now I'm going downhill. It's a very pleasurable trail. The ones in Rocky Mountain National Park at Bear Lake were like all uphill, all the way, going there. And then coming back, it was all downhill, which made it easy. I hear people talking off in the distance, which makes me think maybe I'm getting close to the lake. I'm almost there. 1/8 of a mile. That's probably the people I heard. Well, I made it to Blue Lake. This is it. Somebody's fishing. I don't know if they're catching anything. I'll go find out. But yeah, it was worth the hike. I'm trying to get around the lake. That's the trail I came down, if you can even call it a trail. And then the trail goes that way, but then there's these things here. I don't know if this is where you're supposed to cross. I don't see a trail on the other side. I don't want to get my feet wet, but let's just see how sturdy this thing is. Alright. Made it across, but then where do you go? I'm not seeing a trail anywhere. The log's a little slippery. I don't know, that trail goes up that way. Maybe there's a crossing and a trail that goes over. Alright, back across. Back across the slippery log. Since I have my mic hooked up to my GoPro, it's not waterproof. Ah, there we go. Alright, let's go this way. Looks like quite a few people have gone this way. It's got to go somewhere. Somewhere it's got to cross the little creek. Hey, that kind of looks like a trail. How sturdy is it? Alright. Whoa, it's not very sturdy. Yeah. I made it. I made it. Alright, now let's see if this is a trail. Somebody's walked this way. Be it human beings or bears, somebody's walked this way. Oh yeah. I think we're on a roll now. I think this is the way to go. Another water hazard. Just like the Olympics, folks. Now I want to get back to that side of the lake. What are we doing way over here? Well, I made it back to the lake. Wasn't too bad. That couple on the other side of the lake, they're from Texas. They just got here today, and they're going to be eating trout for dinner because they've almost got their limit already. But you can see the fish in this lake. They're just swimming around everywhere. It's crazy. I found a nice little comfy spot to rest. This place is so peaceful. You got the mountains all around it. You got the crystal clear blue water. I guess that's why they call it Blue Lake. It's so clear you can just see all the trout everywhere swimming around. I'm way up here, probably 40 feet. Probably 40 feet from the shore, and I can see trout swimming around from here. Yeah, this is nice. I'm sure gonna miss Colorado when I get back to Texas. But I sure had a good time. It's been a good trip. I'm glad that my nephew Jason got to come spend some time with me in camp. That was fun. Always get along good with him. We used to work together a long time ago when he was working for me. So we get along good. And I got to spend time with my daughter and son-in-law and grandson on the weekends. That was fun. I got to survive some mechanical issues. Looks like that's taken care of. It's just a battery. Well, it finally got warm enough to crawl out of my tent this morning. It was kind of cool up here. I think the elevation's between 10 and 11,000 feet. But it came a really big rain last night. This whole area here was basically a lake. It was all underwater. You can see where all the stuff was floating. And all the way up to my tent. My tent's on a little bit higher ground than what this is down here, so it did decent. But good thing I didn't put my tent there. I'd have been underwater last night. But yeah, it started raining before the sun went down and was getting cold, so I just got in my tent, of course, because that's the only way I have to keep out of the rain. And I watched Netflix that I had downloaded for a little while, and then finally I just went to sleep. And then I slept in this morning, so I got a lot of sleep last night. which felt good. But now I need some coffee, so it's time to go make some coffee. Well, it's another chilly night here, but at least it's not raining like it did last night. But I'm sitting here in front of the fire working on my vlog. I'm working on the Rocky Mountain National Park footage right now. Sitting in front of the fire sure feels good. It was a little tricky because the camp host who sells firewood hasn't been here the whole time I've been here. So there's no way to buy firewood, so I went around and scrounged up a bunch of wood from the forest, and of course it was all just soaking wet because it rained last night. So what I did is I spread it all out in my campsite in the sun, let it dry, and then the bigger logs, once I got the fire started, I put them on top of that rack right there and let them dry out some more. It seems to be doing pretty good now. I got some good coals going. I got enough wood for probably another hour and a half, 2 hours, and then I'm gonna go to bed. The next morning I said goodbye to Colorado.